Hello everybody! How is today treating y'all? It's Tuesday, it's hot as fuck. And that makes me very mad. Supposedly, again, we're supposed to have thunderstorms, but you know. But yeah, how is everyone doing? More rain. Yeah, I am very happy every time that I hear that there's rain coming, but usually it comes after a lot of heat, so it's not very nice. Hungry as folk and debating on ordering Domino's. Get that Domino's. If you don't, I will destroy you. But yeah, I took my cat on a walk actually, just now. A few minutes ago. She really likes going outside, and she gets really into it. She starts trying to eat everything, and now she's a little bit too hyper, so I had to lock her out. But yeah, walking your cat is a very interesting experience. Theory crafting with Ben this afternoon about this case. Oh, because you've never played it before. Oh, interesting. Hope it's been yeah, it's really haha what the fuck to me as well, but well, we're gonna find out what happens. Yeah, it's been a ride. I hope that when we're done with this, all of you who have been theorizing together get to show me everything that I was doing wrong or etc. I want to see your reactions. But alright, I'm gonna be opening the game in that case. Let's try. Goodbye, Maya's theme. We will not be listening to you right now. Okay, let me get everything in position. And here we are. We left off in the middle of investigation, so that's gonna be very interesting to go back to. But thank you all for being understanding about me needing to just stop. But yeah, I think we left off here. Let's check it out. We were gonna brute force it. So it ain't this one or this one. Oh yeah, I have to. Okay, let's start with this one. I am a detective. I am the ace detective. What? Huh? Whoa. Okay. Actually, that looks... Could it be like this? Brute force, again. Ah, I knew it. Okay. Alright, and now the one that looks like Chile. Okay, so it did have a logic to it, it's just that I was fucking stupid. Oh, it ain't this one. Oh, okay, it's probably this one. This is a really strange... How do you say it? Vase? Vase? Actually, how do you say it? Vase or vase? Because I've heard both. Oh, somebody died with that. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. That only took me 2 more minutes to do. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar adds to the court record. Hey pal, look at the time! Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day. Might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. Gumshoe, you are the reason why he probably gets into trouble. Jesus Christ. Alright. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. Oh, so now I can go see my son? Move over, Jake. I want to go see my son. My son! February 23rd. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Oh, for fuck's sake! What are you doing here? Are you... Did this guy just realize that he's bisexual and now he's thirsting after Edgeworth or something? Is that what's happening here? Ah, guests. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by a window, a teacup in his hand. Uh-oh. Ah, it's you. He has a hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry. Precisely. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh yes, he brought me some information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Leave my son alone! So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. The SL9? Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Edgeworth, do you wanna feel better? Look what I found. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea? I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright! Mr. Edgeworth just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyway? Maybe if I just show him my best evidence I can get some reaction out of him. Do you want to see some gloves? Do you want to see some gloves over tea? You want to see this? Please. Oh yeah, the ID card record. All right, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Well, why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. I told you! They're framing him! The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have had to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence, screwdriver, added to the court record. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Tell me about the screwdriver. Tell me. Oh, come on. You gonna tell me about anything else? Or do I have to actually talk to you now? Edgeworth. Edgeworth, I would like to actually sit down with tea. Oh, I did this already, I think. The items on the cards? What items on the cards? Like, which cards? This one? Oh yeah, the times, sorry. I misread that. 420 Blazehead was the 7-man. The 440 was Edgeworth. Why do I have a feeling that that first person that went in, the 7-7 guy at 420, why do I have a feeling that's Gant? Anyway, after Edgeworth, it's 4989596 at 450 and then on 514. Yeah, they went in twice. Before Bruce Goodman and then after Bruce Goodman. Hey, do you think there's any blood in here? Yeah, Goodman's card was used. I'm not sure. My theory that they stuffed him in the car, like, continues to be the one that I think happened. But I'm not sure. Cause look. Actually, hold on. When did he get stabbed? Okay, he went in at 5:14. 5:14. Then the parking stop says 5:12. So it could not happen at Edgeworth. That puts a damper on the entire theory. Hey, look at this. Oh, I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. A bad memory. He's talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. Are you gonna make some tea? The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago then. He was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police in that investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not! I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? You still working on that scientific investigation? Huh? Yes, of course! Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminium powder for taking fingerprints! It's been chemically treated for a better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know? I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really no need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks! How about giving this to Detective Gumshoe as well? Fingerprinting set on fingerprint file. Received. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Edgeworth, I am going to pinch your cheeks. Oh, she's gone. Angel Star is gone. Hold on, I have to put something. Here we go. Okay. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Everyone's gone. That's hella creepy, actually. February 23, Evidence Room, Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose a finger that will have left behind the clearest print. Really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger! So, either this one or the thumb. Maybe the thumb? Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminium powder around. Huh? How do you do that? Just touch the screen. See? It looks like that did the trick. The aluminium powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? You just blow with your breath. What? Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Is it like seriously going to take my breath? Oh god, okay. Get ready for some ASMR. Oh, it's doing it actually! Ho ho ho! Ha ha ha! Yeah! Aha, you did it! You found one! But this looks like nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again, closely. Oh, there's another one. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside of the blood. Here. Okay. Salt Bay! Hell yes! Whew! What's a non-copyright song to sing right now? Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling! Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person who you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Let's see here. Not quite. Not. Pretty sure it must be angels, but Gumshoe! Oh no! Gumshoe killed someone! Uh-oh. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Yeah, over here, right? The one that you've all been saying? Where was it? Or maybe on this one, or... I forget already, but it was kind of here, right? This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right? Right! There was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? There go her eyes sparkling again. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say that probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me! Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than ones left by the bloody hand. Okay. Huh? Was there something there? I didn't see it. I am salting the prints. The prints are being salted. Salt. This is... Oh yeah, it's this. I'm pretty sure it's this. It's in a different position, but... Oh, come on. I really want to pin the murder on him. Jake? Oh, so it has to be the exact position as well. Uh-oh. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall! Huh? Officer Marshall? Marshall's fingerprints added to court record. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma. These are decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white bloodstain. But why would Officer Marshall? It looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Sorry, he's a murderer. Yeah. Like, you're telling me that this guy doesn't have a spark for the job, etc. No way! He just was away doing something else entirely. He was killing someone. February 24, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby No. 1. And take a sip of water. Yeah, he's into the SL9 case, so he went in and killed the guy because he found something that he shouldn't have. No motive to kill Goodman. Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Both trying to solve it. But what if something happened? Listen, this case is crazy enough for me to think that they're gonna throw me a curveball. And it's gonna be something completely different that shouldn't really make sense. So, let's see. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at the other crime scene. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Hope I didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana! Don't tell me you... Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Mrs. Sky. We discovered traces left by a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. You found Officer Marshall's traces? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we are dealt. Isn't that right, Mrs. Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. February 24, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 9. What a coincidence, huh? Courtroom number 9? SL9? Court is now in session for the trial of Mrs. Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach criminal affairs from the prosecutor's office. The victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now, that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Hello. I'm not gonna do the voice. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is that would be murderer, sir! So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again. Sir, you gotta believe it, sir! Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Mickens. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am a part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. So he's a millennial. I'm sorry. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, then I did it. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted, and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir! He knocked me upside the head, sir! Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. I don't think they're gonna kill me for doing this, so... Hold it! Mr. Meekins, you work in General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes! Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Oh, okay, hold on, look. 49, 89, 59, 6. That's Meekins. Because he went in first to put the Blue Badger away, and then he went in again when he saw Bruce Goodman. Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. Hold it! In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed in here, right? There it is! I found it! This is the one right here. Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir. It's 49, 89, 59, 6. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh? But the number 49, 89, 59, 6 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time when? Yes, sir! That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. Data added to the ID card record. Okay. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. Hold it! So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife! Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got his gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, then I did it. Hold it! What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man left his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. I see. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew... Yes? He punched me right in my face, sir! After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake. Hold it! About what time did you gain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious! Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain! That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Mickens? With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief? Delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yeah, I was just thinking about this. I was thinking, where is the videotape of the security cameras? Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word. Murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Uh-oh. You did it! You did it! Oh, his murderer eyes looking at me. Oh, he's looking at me. Conveniently just covering his face, huh? This is fucked up. This is so fucked up. What the hell? Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. This is a blue badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Security video added to the court record. Yes, well, anyway. Actually, I do want to see that again, if I can. Oh, look. Why does he have, like, a handprint on his face? Already? Do you see that? The badger has a handprint already. It's a right hand. That's fucked up. That is a complete knife. That is a complete knife. It wasn't the broken knife. Oh, it's just looping. Okay, it's looping. Yeah, the dev team is just like flexing that they can use 3D models now. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. Witness testimony. Mystery Man. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Nope. Sir, let me just tell you something about duct tape and I think glue. That is how you can get other people's fingerprints. So, this does not mean it was him. And the person was wearing gloves, so... Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. They're not gonna penalize me for asking, are they? Fuck it. Hold it! Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as being seen or not seen, the man's face, I believe I will be classified as the latter? The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to them, you see? Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it. Hold it! But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Here's a question. Do you think... Oh snap! Oh snap! Hold on! You know who else has a knife? Jake Marshall. You know who else wears a hat? Jake Marshall. You know whose fingerprints were found in there? Jake Marshall's. He's the one obsessed with the SL9 case. Jake, what did you do? No one died there. But there was blood. And he wasn't seen for a while, supposedly because he was on his motorcycle. But what if he was just tending to his wound or whatever it was? And then there's this shoe. Has traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. This is the one that's tripping me up. Like, everything points to Marshall being the one that was in the evidence room. But this shoe has blood on the sole, and the only place where we could have found that much blood was like in the evidence room. That is, if you must label people as being seen or not seen it. Since his face can be identified on the video, only you can verify it. But why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins! Ah! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. He opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints. Hold it! Hold it! About these lockers, is there no way to open them? No other way? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods it's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too. Hold it! How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Hold it! However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir! If I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust the knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify through this. Enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is... unless the defense can find a problem with it? Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? This is Ace Attorney, there's always a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Ashworth? Right. Will you marry me? I propose we have the defense marry the prosecution. Point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Yes, very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. How to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. Set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Hold on, so I can... Who are you? Okay. That's a glove. I think that's the thing that fell. That's a glove, I think. Wait. The coat? What about the coat? In Marshall's locker? Oh! Yeah, the thing that was sticking out. But also this knife. This knife is complete. Oh. Oh, look at the blood. Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, the knife here is like complete. Hold on. Switchblade knife. Found at a crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler, small tag attached. Found in Edgeworth's toolbox, trace of victim's blood, no prints. No prints! But this is Edgeworth's knife, like... The knife used to kill Goodman was the SL knife. Yeah! Extremely thin rubber glove. A light indicates open boxes. Okay, the light is on though. Yeah, Marshall's locker has nothing on it right now. I mean, underneath it. But there was... the coat was like sticking out of it. 1506, 07, 08, 010, 011. There it is! There it is, actually! Look at it! How are you supposed... Marshall's prints. Is this... Is this the one? Oh god, is this the one? Oh god, can I save? I can't. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh yeah. Whew, I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir! Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do? Play video again. Very well, let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. But he's the one pointing his finger. I will now play the security tape. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Present things from this video. You don't get strikes here. Okay. It was... Oh! You're right, it was already open! The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus looked like this. Why is this song playing right here, right now? When you grab the handle and sensor reads your fingerprint, if the print matches the register data, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Right there. Are you gonna point it out? Or when the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Right, your rewinding skills suck. You're going so slow. Also, what the fuck is wrong with that fingerprint? The handprint on the badger, it's weird. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Was that a chicken sound? Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't on the day of the crime. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Locked on the day of the crime, my Christ. But the locker locks are controlled by an electric system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. Someone made it so that it wouldn't trigger. And the locker is automatically locked. Oh, is that why the glove fell? It was stuck right there to prevent it from look. Extremely thin rubber glove. Listen. Either someone put it there on purpose, or Goodman accidentally left it in a place that it would not cause it to lock. These things happen, you know? I think they happened at my college once. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system. See, that's what I'm saying. Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. You bet your ass I'm gonna do it. Dance, motherfucker, dance. Ah! I hope it did register. Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Like, immediately as I saw that thing fall, I was like, that's gonna have something to do with the case. And then I thought, when they were talking about it being already open, I was like, well, you know what that would cause? Something being jammed. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my... We can't be sure that item was in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Can you see it actually? At all? This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Because it's rubber! Yes, an insulator, but at the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Take that! I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir? It would appear so, sir! Order, order, order! So are we to believe then that the victim whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir! Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2! There's one other thing that proves that the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Yeah. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most were cleared out by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Let's do this. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. Hold it! I'm gonna push you until you break. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the B for victory sign, sir. Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out. The witness can't afford to make any more mistakes. I must use your ID card. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out of the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck in my car door when I get out? Well, the remaining time my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Hold it! Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him. You've got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with this cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Must be so difficult for him. Stop bullying him! At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Hold it! Hold it! Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir! He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with his ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we got. Okay, so... At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. Is that the one? Hold on. Yeah, I just wanted to see what was the end. Time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Bruce Goodman at 5:14. What is obvious about this? Wait! He lost it? He couldn't remember his ID number. Is that it? Actually, let's check this. We haven't checked this. It says, the tag says AI 16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said. That makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, it's gonna be. It's sure gonna be, huh? Okay. Okay. So, I think it's probably gonna be this lost item report. Objection! Objection! Oh, fuck, it is! Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high possibility. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Yeah, because... Listen. I had a student card with a very long ID when I was in college, and do you have any idea how long it took me to memorize that number? I was on my 3rd year. I was about to leave, and I was like, I memorize it now? So I would scribble the numbers and just go for my wallet and take it. It was like, this happens. I believe it. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are 2 grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murderer in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Don't you wiggle that finger at me! Well, well, it seems you're finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Mrs. Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah! Oh, Elwoods, we're really in it now. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many unanswered questions. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? Where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright! You have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object! Objection! One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. I hate this video. I hate that badger. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, all the witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? Sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright? Do you mean? Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would like to testify. What is his or her name? I want Detective Gumshoe up here again. Emma, you get up there. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is while the witness is prepared. Would the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess! Recess bell. Effect. Supinad? Supinad? What the fuck is that word? What the hell? February 24, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby No. 2. I'm gonna take a sip of water. All of you do as well. Alright. Basically being told to appear in court. Okay. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals! I guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Detective Gumshoe! What is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around all day while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Mrs. Sky. That's okay, so... have you brought what I asked? Oh. Oh. You mean this, right? My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Mrs. Sky was a witness? Receipt file of SL9 incident files. Take it from me. You don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why... Why is your name in here? Excuse me? Files for the Drake killing, sold 2 years ago. Okay, SL9, closed. Criminal Joe Drake, crime serial murder, sentenced death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Mose, Jeff Bates, Neil Marshall? Marshall? Excuse me? Trial data. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Oh shit. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators Damon Grant and Lana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Jake? Jake! Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana! This SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Drake killings. The... Joe Drake... No. No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Grant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. To be continued. Oh lord. I'm not sure if I should continue or if I should, like, stop here. We're gonna continue from the trial, right? Yeah, the district court. How long is this next part? And why is this structured like this? It's really weird. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jake wants justice for his brother. I would stop now. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like maybe this would be a good place to stop. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna stop right here and we will continue on Monday, but this just took a turn. That's very interesting. Yeah, things are getting juicy. It's just a shame that it's really awful to play. Yeah, I have very mixed feelings about this case. But, well, we're getting to the end of it. We're getting there. And Jake has a lot of splaining to do in the next part. But okay, I'm gonna stop right here. Sorry this was a little bit shorter. But, well, I don't want to have a repeat of what happened last time, where we just stopped midway. So, let's leave this for next time. But yes, that will be all. And tomorrow there's nothing. And then we go back to Parasite Eve and try to beat Eve. Because, oh boy. But yes, anyway, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy yourselves. And I'll see you again for more Ace Attorney on Monday. And Thursday for Parasite Eve. Let's do this shit! See y'all later. Bye bye.